Alrighty, just in today from CS Toys, it is Premium Bandai 04 in the Arms Change series, Kamen Rider Knuckle. This is just the box form. It got a little mushed in transit, but nothing horrible. But yeah, Premium Bandai release, completing all of the main show riders, finally in the Arms Change series, Kamen Rider Knuckle. So here's Zach in his very plain black outfit here. He's kind of got a medieval squire motif to him, as well as the boxer motif that will show off with the armaments here. But yeah, he's just a very basic. There's no detail. There's like some silver paint, but his suit itself does not have really much texture. He does have some nut texture up here on his helmet, but for the most part, it's just a smooth black suit with some silver detailing, and it looks okay. He did have a basic undersuit, unlike some of the motifs that we saw in Gaim and Baron and all that. He does come with the KURUMI armor, as well as the weapon KURUMI bomber, which are like a giant punching fist, which we'll get to, or boxing gloves, I guess. And just like all the other Arms Change figures, we're not going to dwell on much of it. It's got the same articulation as all previous Arms Change figures, so nothing super out of the ordinary there. And again, just like all the others, you slide his head up. Now his head barely fits in there. You got to get it just right, because the shape of his head just barely fits in that slot. But just like all the others, just snap this all the way, and come up here and split it up here at the top. Bring the shoulders down, pull the back, flip this around, and then push it up to form his chest armor. And then the bombers are actually pretty cool, because they're a solid boxing glove all the way around. And I thought maybe you just kind of had to flatten his hand and slide it in there, but you actually open it up, and you see there's a little grip here for him to hold on to. So you move this out of the way a little bit. So you just open up his hand, and you got to kind of work it around that post, and then close it up. It's hard to get your finger in there, but I found you can actually use the lever on the back of this little hinge. You can kind of use that to help close his hand. You can see around that post, and then you can get in there with your finger and really have him grip it. And then you just fold this around and snap it closed. Now, the more you move it, the more likely it is to come loose, because the fingers grab around it, but they don't grab very tightly. And the more pressure you use moving this around, the more likely it is to loosen the fingers. They're not like super tight, but they hang. I mean, they're not going to fall off or anything. But they do have a little bit of wiggle to them. And we'll do the same, which is I do wish he gripped him a little better, but considering they could only use the base body they already had, again, you kind of use that to close that around, tighten that grip as much as you can. I think it works. So yeah, there he is with his KURUMI bombers on, big boxing gloves. I love the idea of him being a walnut. I like the walnut motif. I love the giant boxing gloves. Although once you get all this on, it really makes the lack of detail in the lower half of his body stand out, because he's got all these little knobs and greebles and detail. Now that he's got all the armor on, and with nothing below it besides some smooth silver bits, it looks a little disconjoined, but that's his design, so, what can you do? But I love the KURUMI armor and the KURUMI bombers. I think the basic design of him with a giant fist is really cool. So he kind of came as a surprise to me. I didn't follow a lot of the reveals, so I did not realize there was actually going to be yet another rider introduced into the show by the time he showed up. And this is when Zach showed up. So I was really cool to see the walnut armor come down. And again, just a real quick size comparison. I brought Drive in because I'm still playing with him. I put Gaim back on the shelf, even though I just had him in here the other night. But yeah, there it is. It's again, it's the standard Arms Change formula, and one of my favorite riders from the show. Not my absolute favorite rider, but I did really have a liking for Knuckle, so it's cool to have him, and completes the line of main riders. I know there's the two movie riders, as well as some of like the what's it called, Komotsugari or whatever Ryugen that's coming out with it, when he had like the Hell Fruit armor. I don't know if I'm going to pick that up. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the two Apple movie guys, maybe, but or 15. I don't know if are they making a figure for 15. I don't know, but or 13, whatever that one guy was. But the main show riders finally completes that set, and it's good to have him. So there it is from Premium Bandai, Arms Change, Premium Bandai 04, Arms Change, Kamen Rider Knuckle. Thanks, CS Toys.